see a lot, but I've said. Now it's just a matter of putting pieces together, and so much of that, before you have steel and footings, you're just putting a point in the depth, you've got to really find it, but now it's just a matter of filling all the pieces in, so. And what happens again is like, the more work we get done, the more people I can put on the job site. So I hope to get to the point where we have 100 people, like we've been averaging 40 to 50, and we'll get up to 100 people 100 workers on the job site every day. And that's where I can put the HVAC guys in one area, the electricians in another, the plumbers in another. And you can, once we have it enclosed, once the steel guys are finished, I can green light plumbing and electric. I'll start, doing all that underground work while L&L is outside of the street. So, but it's like, you're always balancing safety with getting, really charging it. So, as a general rule, you can never have an overhead worker with someone, or even someone carrying stuff, over the top. Okay.
That's it.
That's that.
Okay, we have any other? We'll let Andy get back to work.
All right.
Thank you very much. So I know that NEMSCO representative is next. She's not here.
I am.
Are you gonna represent?
Well, I'm just
And-
delegate from us, so I can just tell you what's going on there. Cause I am Wendy and then. Same time. So the next meeting is not actually until July, they always take a hiatus in June. And they have a big campaign, which was, newsletter, in the newsletters, and it addressed where the cooling centers are, which are all township halls and all COAs in every county. So we have that list too, if anybody needs it. And so that was sort of their campaign for June. And I don't have any other reporting from there, other than I am training to be a math counselor, which is Medicare and Medicaid counselor that each COA is supposed to have. I've been attending their meetings and doing all the initial training, but the actual official training doesn't start until August, but I'm supposed to be available and trained by open enrollment October 15th, so we'll see how that goes. So I'll be the person here in our center that people come to for assistance if they renew normally, or if you're having issues with any and want to make any changes to the program we currently have. In the meantime, we had a gal, Mary Downing, that came. She's an independent insurance broker. She has offered to come to the center for the month of July and the month of August, one day for free. There's a time period between 1 and 3:30. And folks can sign up in half-an-hour increments to come if they are having any problems or if they just have questions. She has access to all the same information that I would have. And again, it's a great thing. She's willing to stay here in the building for a few hours and help anybody who needs. And I know the last time she was here was kind of an accident, and she was able to help people who just happened to be here for kind of that, which is really awesome. So I made up a flyer for that, and they'll be in the July newsletter and sent to all the home voting. So that's it for the announcement part.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. I'm sorry I didn't realize that. You were on both. So at this point, I would like to ask for a motion to, I know we have approved the agenda. I wasn't familiar with Brad gonna be here, but can we add Brad Cole to our agenda so he can go back to work?
I'll make a motion to put Brad on the agenda. Next.
Want to do it before Carolyn or after Carolyn?
I would ask if we could do it before Carolyn,
Absolutely, no problem.
so he can go back and he has business to take care of. So, can we do that? Motion's been made by Schlicker, seconded by McKinnon, to add Radco to the agenda, to present. To present the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Brad?
Well, I appreciate it. I was a little late. Sorry. I go sometime. No, I was, in the past, we've been talking about possibly, purchasing this building. I know you're looking to sell it. Phil and I have been talking a little bit, Doris and I talked a little bit about it. I'm definitely interested in it. I know you retained a realtor. My biggest concern coming into this is for what I need it for, I don't know that I can pay for that he thinks it's worth. But I also don't want to be this guy that comes in and says, try and take advantage of my own community. So I want to be really, really fair. So I'm not sure if, first of all, the building works for about 75% of what I would like to do something going forward with. It's not exactly what I would be perfect for, but I would entertain purchasing it if it's something that's available. So I'm not sure if the fair thing to do would be say, if you shop it to somebody else to buy it for the price you really want to get for it, but I also don't want to be Brad's gonna take advantage of us and buy it cheap because nobody will buy it. I don't want that either. So I'm trying to be careful in the community because I don't want to make people think that I'm trying to steal a building from our own community. So with that being said, I'm willing to make an offer to the board at some point. It doesn't have to be now. I've had a couple people look at it. I think you were looking at around, I think you said around 300,000 what he thought it might be worth. I know he called me as well. I just named this lost, I lost his name. What was his name?
John McCloskey.
Yeah, that's right.
North 45.
Should be an easy one. I talked to him a little bit on it. He said it was hard to come up with a price because it's an odd sized building in an odd place. I had originally talked to somebody that looked at it a little bit with me and thought it was more on the $100,000. I thought that was low. I was thinking more on the $150,000 range, but I don't know, that might be low too. I know you talked one time, somebody else might have been interested months ago that is possibly, I would like to see it being utilized for something. I mean, it's my community too, but if there was something that was better than I was going to use it for, and I'm not even sure exactly what I would use it for. I've got like five things that I would like to do with it. I'm not sure which is the most practical of it. We're gonna do some major expanding in our store, shortly. We are possibly going to build a large furniture store in Lincoln. It's our next goal. It could be this, I mean, it could be remodeled and made this into, this isn't an ideal location for that. We've also, a lot of people don't know what else we do at Kohl's. We have a wholesale company also. We buy and sell slightly damaged products. We're one of only 3 in the state of Michigan that bring them in, and then I wholesale them out to other organizations all over northern Michigan. My line is from Saginaw over to just about Cadillac and then all the way north. So I have dealers, and if you look at my business at any given day, there's trucks coming in and getting stuff. We unload and load, so we could make that into this being a place that people buy very reduced, slightly damaged products, not just appliances. I have the ability to bring in flooring. I have the ability to bring in carpet. I have the ability to bring in furniture, lots of that stuff. My goal though is I'm not trying to make people think that I'm this bargaining deal guy on the side that all we do is scratch neck. We want to continue to remember that we do tons of appliances out of our 2 stores. So I'm not sure if it's fair to do it that way. I don't know what you're thinking. I also thought about it being in the old fashioned hall again, but everything I see what you're doing down there, you're gonna be able to satisfy the community for that. So now I'm in charge of the Baptist church too, and we do a lot of stuff, and there's a lot where we won't allow certain things like alcohol and things in our church. So what you're doing over there is really gonna take care of that whole role, I think. I don't think you're gonna need your exercise machines are all down there, so I don't think they need that either, but But anyways, that's where I just wanted to stop in to throw that out there. And again, my fear is it gets out there that Brad's trying to lowball us on a price. I don't want that. If somebody came in and said, hey, I'll give you 300,000, that's our plan, I am 100% supportive of that. I would not have a hard feelings at all. I mean, I wouldn't say, I am going to do some major improvements. We are going to pave everything that we own on both sides of this building. I mean, this side and that. I'm accepting a bid this week to put in, so we have no drainage problems anymore. The Ward Road keeps getting washed out down there. We're literally going to have everything paved. So it'll make it easier for snow plowing for us and whoever buys this building too, because it will be. So that's kind of what I was here for. I know we've been talking. I don't, if I was to purchase it, you can stay as long as you want. You talk about, you have to be able to stay here until it's finished. I'd have no problem, you know, and if the board thinks it's a fair thing to do, which I kind of think it is, maybe it should be, but then, you know, commissions and things like that, but if you put it out for your price and then I'm your second resort, I don't have a problem with that as well. This size building, I could build a new for less than $200,000 upstairs in a brand new building. So that's why I can't, you know, the roof's older, I know the heating systems, the original boiler and stuff, you know, for somebody, they might be able to use it for some other things too. We talked about even an indoor storage facilities. Now I just put these storage units up and they're full almost already. I mean, they fill up that fast. This could be an indoor of that, but I want to do something. I have a couple plans, I guess is what I should say. I would have probably at least 3 or 4 different things that I could easily do with it, but at no point do I want to take advantage or feel that you guys think you have to sell it to me, or that if you get in the end and it's we don't know what we're gonna do with it, then I would be able to have that offer on the table. So I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, or like I say, I just don't want everybody walking out of here going, and Brad's trying to rip off the machine aging and take advantage of this, because that's at no point am I, if you say, hey, we got buyers that'll pay $250 or $300 or whatever you're asking for it, my feelings wouldn't be, I mean, I looked at the building, but I can't justify the amount of money that possibly is being asked for the things that I'm going to do with it. I guess that's fair.
I would like to see you present a proposal to us on the amount, and then as of right now, we haven't had our doors beaten down, anybody's inquired about it. John, I know he said it'd be a hard sale cap because there's no other buildings in our area that sold for that kind of a price. I think if you was to present this board with a proposal,
Bill, are we under contract with the realtor at this point?
I'll have a signed agreement,
It is,
Should
but he has not listed it yet.
Should that proposal go through the realtor?
it has to.
I would think, yeah, you could contact.
And then the realtor would present the board with that.
Okay. Yeah,
So I just make a written offer to the realtor then on what it, but my fear is what I said at least 3 times, I'm trying not to be redundant. I don't want that image that I'm this lowballer trying to steal this from you guys. So I'm afraid of that more than anything. I would rather not even try to buy it, step back and then wait it to the end to see what happens. But my fear is that it gets out in the community that Brad's trying to come in here
No,
and lowball this forward.
I'm a appraiser, and I just wanna say that, it's a pretty standard rule of everything, that your best buyer is your next door neighbor.
Sure.
When it comes to land, when it comes to almost anything, the person who has its best interest is most useful, all that stuff, so I don't think you have to worry about this board, would totally support if that's the direction that it went. I think it would be an excellent thing. I don't need for the.
All right, I appreciate it, cause I could see the headlines, you know, offer made 50% off, Cole's trying to steal.
Whole village.
Right.
instead of-
Well, I personally think the headlines would have been worse if we didn't have a real estate agent and get an appraisal and then just sell it to you outright.
I
Then
agree.
I think the headlines would have been worse. So,
I agree,
Yeah.
I agree. The only thing I was sad about, you know, there's commission based in there is that he's gonna make, I mean, it was a pretty easy transition for him, so, but again, I have no problem doing that way. I would make it immediate to him so he knows it's there, and then we would just sit, he would just sit until, and like I say, I can think of a couple other people that would maybe come in to try to get a little bit more than me, just for the sake of that. That sounds bad, but I've got
I
some.
mean, you're gonna create the competition.
I probably could, if that got old, that, if somebody goes, you know, 10,000 more, you're gonna get it. I know of two people that would love to make my life miserable, so.
Well, the dream is be a nurse, any type of.
No, they're busy.
It's not this.
You have to also remember that any and all bids can be accepted or rejected.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
can,
and Bobby makes a good point, it wasn't a sideline deal, it wasn't a secret agreement, it was offered to the public, it was offered to everybody. It was offered to the market, so if you're the person that responds, then.
All right, well, I will do it that way, and, like I say, again, I feel better about, I at first wasn't gonna wanna come and do this. I was just saying, I'm just gonna sit back and let the thing run with it, and then I thought that might be worse if then I put a real low ball. I mean, I say low ball, because if you were gonna sell it, you had to get rid of it, then I really think I could try to get it cheap, and I'm not trying to do that, I'm trying to get it for what I think the fair, because it's my community too. I did tell Dolores I'd double what you paid for it, but she wouldn't accept that, so.
I remember back when we were talking about selling the building back in February area, maybe March. The board wanted me to find a real estate agent to put it out. So that's what I did, to make sure that it wasn't people saying behind the scenes, no, we're open. It's like I sold the property in Harrisville. You know, it was put out to a realtor, which was, you know, 45, and they sold that, and so I do agree, should go.
and I mean, I would be hopeful that we would be able to talk to John and work something out on a commission wise that would give him something for the work commensurate with the work he has put in. But I think since we have been complimentary of you and the discounts that you've given on the project, that we had to separate, put a level of separation between.
The second thing on that too, I worked hard to make sure that not only did I want to get the bid to do those jobs, I want to do it at very little profit. I mean, at very little profit. It's our community too. I mean, I mean, we're just as much involved with this as anybody, so we want this to prosper and everything. So that's why when we did put the quotes on, he was kind of shocked, I think, because he had some other quotes that were considerably more, but we want to help all the community, and that's what we've always been. And this has kind of been my next, like I say, next door neighbor here, and I've always tried to help anything you guys have had refrigeration or freezers down, that we try to have some backups for you and stuff. I know you had one just go down again, but okay, that's fair, I can say.
Carolyn has a question.
Add more of a statement. if I may.
Statement.
I think that you may have one or two disgruntled individuals that know you or you know them. But I believe, and I'm guessing every person at this table in this room is going to say that Brad Cole's reputation for being good, honest businessman and citizen way far exceeds
I appreciate that.
anything that anybody else would say.
I appreciate that. And like I say, I'm excited about your new project. I think it's gonna be a great asset to the community, and so I will do it. I will do it that way. I can do it right away too, so it's on record there for him. And then, but like I say, if all of a sudden, you know, somebody came in and said, here's your full price that you're looking for, I'm not gonna have to hurt my feelings. I mean, my goal is the organization is more important than me. I mean, the organization is very important for this community.
Okay.
I don't have a question either, but I do wanna say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done over the years for us. You know, the snow plowing, the deep freezes, and now on the new building. We really appreciate it.
Oh, like I said, it's a hand in hand thing for me. I mean, we're all part of this community, and the more we can make it better, the better, so. But, okay, I thank you for your time, and I didn't mean to be late, so I normally am not late on anything, but we had some turmoil over at our store there.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn, you have, anything for the committee report?
I've laid at your place a schedule of activities in the area. It's a green sheet. The backside, it has things regarding the hunting licenses and so on and so forth. But I will tell you, not everything, so we've already discovered a few things that are not on that.
I was gonna say.
Most people won't give me a mic. The green sheet does, although it has almost every activity on it through the summer, there are a few missing, so don't say, well, it's not on the sheet, you can't possibly be happy. Just might. The second thing that I laid at your place is a fair schedule. You can open it up and see what's happening each day of the fair. We certainly invite you to participate in that. The other thing that I laid at your place was the agreement, the resolution that the Board of Commissioners asked regarding the materials management planning. State passed regulations back a couple of years ago regarding waste and how it should be handled. We are under a mandate to do something about it. We could have gone alone, but financially, it seemed like a much better, more appropriate and thing to go with a few other counties. So we are with, I don't know if the list on here or not. No, it is not, but we are with Alpena and Oscoda, Montmorency. And we were with Presqu'île, and Presqu'île decided they would pull out and do it on their own. What we're being required to do, it will cost them 3 times what it would have cost them going this direction, but that's okay. The other thing that I did not pass out, but am now, and the first is a page that has an explanation about, from EDC, from Doug Cheek, regarding broadband. It explains where we are now and the process that we're going through. But what I'm passing out, the second thing that I am passing out, please don't hesitate to take more than one. The more letters that we can get from individuals within Alcona County sent to the name at the top of the letter that's coming around, Tim Malone. He is CEO of Cherry Capital Connection, and they are the ones that we will be going with. And do have your spouse, your significant other, your children, your grandchildren, if they have an Alcona address, please have them write a letter. Now, it doesn't have to be this letter. The important thing is that it goes to this gentleman, that it states that you're a resident or that of Alcona County. And if you want to change, from my perspective, I've talked with Doug about this. You don't have to have your primary residency here to still want broadband. You might want to come up on the weekend. You might want to come up here and work from home. But the connections and the options that you have available to you where you live do not allow that. If we get the broadband in, and if it gets done, with that could allow people to come up here and, work from here. We know, we saw it during the pandemic, and many of those positions are still working from home. My daughter works up at my house sometimes. If she'll come up for the weekend, she'll work Monday here, go home Monday evening rather than Sunday evening traffic. If you have hunting property, true, that doesn't make you a resident, but you may want to show somebody, you may shoot a really big buck. And you may want to take that picture and show it and send it to your friend. This internet will help you with that. You may want to, I know of people who take their laptop out into their blind and work. Now, one could say, well, how much of their time is their eye on what's walking past and how much is on what's in the laptop? Well, I don't need to answer that question. It's not mine, but does kind of wonder. But point is, you also might need help. Maybe you believe you're having a heart attack and you're in your blind. But what's there now isn't going to help you. And this would help you. So I urge you to, your own letter drafting is better than this letter. If you would like to have done some telemedical, teledoc meetings or appointments, you can't because you don't have that capability. That's a very good reason why you might want to send a letter. But as I said, have your spouse, if someone else is living in the home with you, have them send a letter. If you're 10th grader, you see the hands of all those who have 10th graders at home, yes. If you're 10th grader, those who you're talking to, if they can't do their homework because they don't have the internet. All of those are reasons why that you can list and say, I want this to happen. Send a letter, please try and get them off before the 15th of July. Feel free to make as many copies of this as you want to. Give it to your neighbor, take it to church. I know it went to bingo over in Mankato. It's over in Guston Township, so take it to your township meeting if you want to. Wherever you know there are people that are residents of Dakota County or have property here, have them do a letter. As I said, the important thing is that it gets to this Tom Malone. Doesn't have to be this letter. This is a form letter that is. Help one for myself. And I will make sure there are some downstairs. So I'm really pushing this.
Okay, thank you. That's
That's all I have unless there's questions.
Motion Schmidt. Okay, let's go to executive director's report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that she wanted me to share that she
You
wanted.
turn your mic.
Sorry. I gave everybody this one sheet of paper. It was just to, give the numbers for May, the ending numbers for home delivered meals, and then related to that, the donations received. In the middle is what that number of meals, the 2,300 meals in May, home delivered meals, if those, were paid for at $3 a meal, that would equal $6,903. What we received in donations was $1,940. So just as a disclosure part of it. And for May congregate meals, we served 490 meals. We did those at $3 a meal, which some are over 60 folks and some are younger than 60, but just to average it out at $3 a meal, that would have been $1,470. And we received in donations for congregate 1,062, which is pretty good actually. The numbers for donations and talking to Patty, I mean, this is obviously just a real snapshot. They do vary from month to month, and already for June, we do have more money having been received in way of donation. I did send out, part of the newsletter last month, before June, a letter indicating the importance of the donations. While it is not mandatory, you don't require people to do that to get a meal, but the importance of what all that goes for. It's quite, even at the $3 per meal, it's significantly less than many days what those meals actually cost to prepare each. And we are at $3, we are still probably one of the lowest commissions on aging in terms, so most of them have increased their prices. So, Wendy and I had talked about possibilities for fundraising efforts that would support the home delivered meals. I know that a lot of the other commissions on aging do them periodically in different types of things. They can be very simple or it can be, more elaborate. I don't know. I know we have a fundraising committee on the board, that may not have been real active in the last couple of years, just based on everything else that's going on. But, you also have a new employee or returning employee, Dr. McKay, who has a lot of resources. They've been working with other boards of directors, other nonprofit companies that might be able to assist the board's fundraising committee to come up with some ideas that we could do to maybe raise some funds for that, for the meal program. And the only other thing she wanted me to mention was that, Patty is working right now, as most of you know, with the state to turn in receipts and whatnot to get the release of the balance of the grant money. Finish the building. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question. Where are we in the process of being approved to raise the suggested donation up to $4? Where are we in that process?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't need that we need permission to do it. I think there's a maximum we have to let NMSCA know, of course, but mostly, I think it's just a decision, like executive director and the board, make a decision to pull the trigger on that. But at this point, I'm not sure. Seems kind of counterproductive to do that, but
I think we have to go through NEMSCA, and NEMSCA has to approve us raising them. And I think that's the point that we're at now.
yeah,
And I'm not sure if we did that yet.
I don't know if she has either because, for the obvious reason, but I know many of the other, having attended those meetings monthly, I know most of the other Crawford County, all surrounding counties have done that already.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to treasurer's report. Ron is not here. I do know, well, Bob, you wanna do it?
The one thing I wanted to make sure everybody was clear on is that this is as of May 31st. So there's always a 3 or 4 week lag. So as Andy was saying and Patty, we are down, real low on the initial disbursement from the MBDC, and she's been working well in advance of getting the requirements of what paperwork they're going to need to release that second allotment. So these figures, since then, also, I believe we've got the millage funds. And finally, the second week in June, we got those, so it's never it's never updated to the day when you see this. It's always, there's always a lag.
On, on the treasurer's report. Need a motion to accept.
I would make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented, subject to audit.
I'll second.
And motion by Terry, seconded by Schlicker to accept the treasurer's report as presented, subject to audit. Roll call, please.
McKinnon,
Yes.
Schlicker,
Yes,
Potter,
Yes,
Turek, yes, Stefanowski.
Yes,
motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to secretary's report.
I don't have anything except that what we'll bring up in the new business about the upcoming election. And
Okay.
what we need to do to prepare for that.
Committee report. For Phil or Mike. We are still looking into working with Tim on finding, our agency to do the survey on the houses, the rent, what's gonna be included, an independent study where the board won't make that choice for people to move into the houses. It would be an independent book study that would interview the clients. That way it relieves the board of any future downgrading of the board. You know, you did this because
Hardship.
you did this because it's your family member, it's your aunt, or, you know, and everybody in Alcona County pretty much is related. So we feel it's the best interest to have an independent agency do that. We'll come up with a price, we'll come up with what's included, we'll come up with, you know, all the advantages that you'll have if you do. And then we'll whittle it down. I think we have somewhere around 18 people that signed up. How many is gonna be eligible, how many is gonna be noteworthy of being able to afford it? The year, how long it's gonna be for occupancy, is it gonna be a 1-year lease? You know, or is it gonna be permanent lease until they pass, you know, all things are involved. So we'll let the committee or the, agency do that too. It's just to relieve the board of any future arguments. So that's all.
Is there a meeting of the committee meeting scheduled?
A committee meeting?
July 11th, is that? does anybody
Oh,
know?
yes, I think it was July 10th or 11th that she had put that she would like to have a meeting with our board and, maybe a committee or something, or whatever. And it was something to do with the opening of the new building, or, you know, things like that. Not so much set a date, because we're not sure what exactly the date it's gonna be open to the public, but have like a open house type deal for the new center. Mike?
yeah, I believe Wendy had some, things that she wanted to have included as the building is finalized. And I think that was probably the main reason for her wanting to set this meeting up.
Okay. Yeah,
So, and she did so based upon everybody's availability, and I believe it was July 11th.
right in that, yeah, I'll double check. Okay.
Yeah, because I have no idea about it, so.
Unfinished business, the truck was delivered, we ordered a new truck. It has been paid for, it is here, it is out in the parking lot. It was delivered a little sooner than we thought it was gonna be July, but this is pretty close, I think they did a great job. I think it's gonna save the center tons of repair money, hopefully, you know, you get a warranty, you get all the in the box, the brand new, the heating elements and everything, so hopefully, knock on wood, that everything goes according to plan.
And what's gonna happen with the one that we already have?
The white one is going to be put up for sale. It's It's on us, it's, yeah, it's,
Okay, I
Did
just
you-
know that in the past it's been offered to a company that does our repair work. They had offered in the past,
normally, this one?
one prior to all the lots.
Oh. What's gonna happen is probably the black one will stay on road, and the white one, the new one will be put on road. The red one that has been acting up a little bit, will be a backup, so hopefully we can have it taken care of everything, and then it'll be a reliable backup, because the one that is the backup is not reliable. It is for short term, but not everyday use, so that'll be put up for sale and that. Take care of that.
Do we know a price on it yet?
No, we'll have to get that appraised and then put it up, you know, if they say, I don't know, let's just, I'm gonna throw a number out that. Not in concrete, but say if they say it's worth $3,500. You know, we can ask $2,000, it, like I said, nothing's in concrete, that's just a number I'm picking out of the air. It could come in at 5,000 trade in, or, you know, appraised, who knows? We'll have to take it down to Elkhorn Motors or have somebody appraise it and see what it's worth. And possibly offer it to other agencies who might need a truck. Okay. Okay, we move on to any other old business that we have, anybody? We will move on to new business.
Well, the annual election is coming up in September, and when we adopted the new bylaws several months ago, it says that as of this meeting, our president needs to appoint a nominating committee. And then there's some processes we need to follow to prepare for the next election. So this meeting, our president needs to appoint a nominating committee. We have 3 positions up for election this year, as always. And the only people who are not up for election this year would be Pam, Dolores, Bill, and I. So you're kind of limited in who you can appoint to a nominating committee, but that's the way it is.
So how many has to be on the committee?
I would assume 3, and then you as a ex officio member.
So I guess that kind of limits it who I can appoint. I would like to appoint Pam, Doris, Bob for the nominating committee, and then I will. So the board would make a motion to appoint Pam McKenna, Dolores Schlicker, and Robert Turk to the nominating committee.
I make a motion to, promote that, committee, as, Phil has, established.
And I'll second that, assuming all of us agree to assume that position, I'll second that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, motion by Stefanowski, seconded by Terry, to appoint Pam McKinnon, Dolores Schlicker, and Mike Stefanowski, or I'm sorry, Robert Turek to the nominating committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
so I was actually on with, President Gary.
Gary, we're not.
Yeah. I was on the nominating committee, and at that time, Robin was still our receptionist. She said that she's done lots of them and would offer to help us. So we need to talk to Robin and see if she'll still guide us and what we can do.
Okay, well, we have our nominating committee now. Okay,
Yeah, so then the nominating committee will get together and just make sure we follow the bylaws of what needs to be done as far as getting a slate of candidates. And, you know, the bylaws are a little bit different from the old ones. There's an extra step in there to have a proper election. So everything will be done according to the bylaws.
sounds good. Okay. Anything else? Okay,
Could we have maybe Dr. Turek be the chairman of that committee?
That's for the committee to decide. Yep, that's a great point, yep. So we're gonna do that, public comment, for 2 minutes per person, giving name and township.
Judy French, Hairspell. Two things. One was, on this building and the listing of it, 'cause it was last month. You know, that was said that it would be listed at the 330. Why is that not? I mean, once you guys approved to do it, it should have been done like right away. So, also, I personally, I think 330 is pretty high, but you know, I don't know real estate. I do like the idea of Brad being able to get the building. I know he would do something good with it. And I kind of agree where he's saying about, you know, that's just too much, you know. Anyway, there's that. Second thing I wanted to bring up was, when you guys were talking about the cost of the meals, and Bob brought that up. It was voted on at least 3 months ago to increase that. Why has that not been done? There's absolutely no excuse for it to take that long to implement the raise in the cost. So somebody needs to ask some questions and find out why that hasn't taken place. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, no other comments, no other people, so we'll close public comment. Directors, additional comments and concern. Pam, you have any comments or concerns? Dolores?
No.
I don't, not Mike?
Yes, I have a comment, or actually a question for Bob Turek. And, a couple months ago, he had, that's a guesstimation, circulated an email, with regard to accepting a settlement. And in that settlement was a, provision for, I would call it sensitivity training, for lack of a better term. Is that still in the process? And if so, I know that we were limited in time for that training to take place. Is that still going to happen?
Well, that's a good question. I will have to get with the lawyer and see. There were some other changes made that might have negated our need to do that. So it's still up, but we have 3 months.
Okay.
So we still have time, and the insurance company's lawyer can do that training. So it's just a matter of, there was another change made, whether we still need to do that or not.
Okay, when will we know the results of that?
Well, I can check. I can probably get with them today and see if that's exactly how that has changed. If we still need to do that as part of what their recommendations.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
And I did have one comment. I think just since Wendy is on vacation, I am sure that things have been done. The surveys were sent out to go with that, raising the fee. So
Yes,
I'm
all
pretty
of
sure.
that groundwork has been done.
Yeah.
I think it. And I don't see that it would be a problem to get it, you know, to get the final okay to do it. It's more of a hesitancy to do it because you know, of our congregated situation and our people who do pay are able to pay, let's put it that way. The same ones, you know, in terms of home delivered meals, seem to be doing it every month. And are we penalizing the wrong people? It's kind of how it feels. That's all. We're trying to be sensitive to our specific client base here. And, you know, it is gonna have to happen eventually. But I'm sure that we've done everything we need to do. It's probably just pulling the trigger on doing it. And having to bear that news to everybody. But I don't know, I can't answer that question because I don't know for sure, but I would guess that's the situation.
So on that, topic, there has been a lot of discussion and work done on that, raising the cost. And just like Kim said, we're trying to be kind of sensitive because it is a donation. And when you increase that, there are people who have not donated, who may not be possibly able to, so you raise that, now you just increase the number of people who may not be able to donate the $4 and the $6 to $7. So I do know that there has been discussion, we have talked, we have sat down and analyzed a lot of situations, so. So to your, we have been acting on that, raising of it, so. Just so everybody knows. Good. Any other comments, concerns from the directors? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Our next regular board meeting will be July 23rd. See the motion?
I would make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Turek, seconded by McKinnon. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, meeting's adjourned.